The figure shows the equation of the coefficient of lateral earth pressure for dash. Solid response. Passive condition is a valid choice.
When they're trying to solve a problem, engineers follow a series of dash.
Correct steps is the right answer. Before you can solve a problem, the first thing you have to do is dash.
Exactly. Define the problem makes sense, and it is right choice. A simple model that lets you test out your design is called dash.
Well picked. A prototype is the correct answer. To see if it works like they want it to, engineers need to dash. Valid point. Test their solution is true. Engineers are people who design and build things to solve dash. Excellent choice. Problems is the right answer. The knowledge of lateral earth pressure is very important in designing the geotechnical structures as listed below except. Well done. Subgrade of roadway is the right choice. Which type of civil engineering subfield is concentrated on the stability, strength and rigidity of built structures? On track, structural engineering is the correct answer. What is the burden range that can be borne by the foundation of the precast plus thread reinforcement foundation?
Smart move. 301,000 ton is an accurate answer.
While designing restrained embedded retaining wall, the point at which tie rod meets the wall has dash moment.
Strong choice. 0 is the right answer. Parts of a structure that cannot be removed is referred to as a dash load. You're right. Static or dead is the correct answer. The carrying capacity is taken what percentage of the carrying capacity of the foundation pole friction? Good thinking. 70% is the right answer. When a retaining wall moves away from the backfill, the pressure exerted on the wall is termed as Nicely done. Active earth pressure is a solid answer. Force that causes parts of a material to slide past one another in opposite directions. Sharp thinking. Shear is the right choice. Which of the following engineering categories were the Romans most likely to have had?
Correct response. Civil is the most accurate answer.
What was the vertical settlement noticed in the Transcona grain elevator case? Nice selection. 1/5 is the correct and valid answer. A decrease in water content results in a reduction of the volume of a soilin. You got it. Your choice, all of these is right. What is the depth of the new foundation in the Transcona grain elevator case? Well reasoned. 3450 is the correct choice. The field of engineering focused on structures and buildings of all kinds. Bravo. Civil engineering is the answer. External forces on a structure that change is referred to as a dash load. Clear logic. Your choice dynamic or live is sound and 100% true. Wind, earthquakes, heat, impacts, rain, and snow are all examples of dash. Smart pick. External forces is the correct choice. What are the two main modes of failure damage that occur to a foundation? Good job. Your answer settlement. Bearing capacity works well here. The poles will experience a small settlement if they are on the ground. Great job. Bezier is the accurate answer.
What is the function of friction in Terzaghis bearing capacity model? Nice work. You chose increases with depth, and it is correct.
When did the silo begin to tilt in the Transcona grain elevator case?
Great thinking. October 1913 is the right choice.
What is the distance between the minimum pole in the pole group?
Perfect. 2.5D is the correct choice.
Based on the assumptions of Rankine's theory, the soil mass is
Excellent. Homogeneous is a brilliant choice. For field test, significant depth of exploration for pile 15. Right choice. FIMEM to WinCMEM is the best answer.
Fadum's chart has a restriction to give value of stress at the
Right again. Corner of footing is a valid answer.
What is the factor of safety related to in bearing capacity?
You chose net ultimate bearing capacity, and it is correct.
Rankine's theory of lateral earth pressure can be applied to
Strong choice. Cohesion-less soil is the right answer.
which of the following is type of transformer foundation?
Smart pick. Both of the above is the correct choice.
Which of the following is not the type of pole foundation?
You chose pyramidal, and it is correct.
Which model provides a general bearing capacity approach?
Correct response. Meyerhoff's bearing capacity model is the most accurate answer.
What was the weight of the silo when it was filled?
Good job. Your answer 20,000 tons works well here.
Swelling and shrinking is the property exhibited by. Nicely done. Clay is a solid answer. What is the net ultimate bearing capacity based on?
Nice selection. Terzaghi's bearing capacity model is the correct and valid answer.
Which of the following is not major equipment? Right choice. HFUs is the best answer.
In friction piles type of deep foundations,
Good thinking. Terminated at higher depth is the right answer. An engineer wants to know dash things work.
Smart move. How and why is an accurate answer?
Particles of size less than 0.02 mm is. Valid point. Clay is true. Usually in design of wall, Pu equal to dash to. Well picked. 2 is the correct answer. Engineering at the most basic level is.
exactly. Problem solving makes sense, and it is right choice.
Force that stretches a material apart. Sharp thinking. Tension is the right choice. Name of soil prevailing in the anchor is. Correct. All of the above is the right answer. Electrical conduits should be laid. Well done. During brickwork is the right choice. Twisting force. Bravo. Torsion is the answer. Alluvium is a. Excellent choice. River deposit is the right answer. How you will get all these questions in PDF books form.
Perfect. Contact Naran Changder is the correct choice.